what is your view of Krampus and its resurgence in popularity recently? You think, in particular, it has ever been a good thing to include in celebrations related to St. Nicholas and Christmas itself?
Well, it's a good question. The figure of Krampus, like the figure of Black Peter or Black John in Germany and the Netherlands, Krampus is more Austrian and Southern German. They remember that the idea was that he came with St. Nicholas to punish the bad children, the way St. Nicholas came to reward the good. Well, that was a wonderful idea because it taught children consequences. If you're bad, Krampus will punish you. If you're good, St. Nicholas will reward you. That is something our entire society is running away from. You know, the idea that actions have consequences and the idea that children should behave. We've gotten away from that. As we know, children who don't behave grow up and become adults who don't behave. And we're run by them pretty much today, adults who don't behave. Well, believe me, they didn't behave as kids either. And, I mean, back in the 50s, this is a little off the track, but back in the 50s, they had all these things, why Johnny can't read, because more and more people were becoming functional illiterates. Well, the educational system has not improved since then. And that original generation of functional illiterates has grown up to be the people who rule us. Isn't that wonderful?
That's great.
Yeah! Merry Christmas to you all, my masters. But, what? I'm wishing the people that own me a Merry Christmas.
That's great.
All right. You see how he is? Anyway, this is a season of good cheer. You should be willing to wish a Merry Christmas to your owners, your masters, the people that run your life.
Have at it.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I sense disapproval. And I'm feeling very insecure right now because I'm sensing disapproval. Is this yours or is it emanating from the suits?
Charles, I unconditionally accept you, and our whole audience unconditionally accepts you, as we said in the last episode.
Oh, I feel so much better now. Okay,
Yeah.
I can continue, ladies and gentlemen. This close to wigging out, and now I'm safe. Thank you. Anyway, it is Christmas. Anyway, seriously, ladies and gentlemen, that is an extremely important lesson for children. It's just like, but we sanitized it. It's just like our fairy tales. You know, the original versions of the Grimm's fairy tales were nasty. Terrible things happened to kids. But they would happen to kids because the kids did something wrong. And every one of these stories had a moral. My favorite, of course, is Little Red Riding Hood. Now, the original, Little Red Riding Hood is got her basket of goodies for Grandma, you know, a bottle of gin, bottle of rye. Grandma has a little problem.
Okay.
You know, it's a good thing she was eaten up and not cremated, or the whole thing would have gone up.
Wow.
Anyway, the poor, well, she's by herself. She's a little old lady living by herself in the middle of the forest,
Sure.
drinking herself to death.
Okay.
Anyway, so all right, that part wasn't in the original.
Okay.
But she's walking along, and there the wolf appears and talks to her. Okay, mistake number one. Don't talk to strangers. Number two, she tells him where she's going. I mean, how stupid is that? So then, he goes there, eats up Grandma, you know, probably staggering after eating her bloodstream with all the booze in it. Anyway, so the wolf then gets into bed, you know, wears the hat, wears the... you know, in Little Red Riding Hood's defense, probably the smell of liquor convinced her that this was Grandma after all. That's not true. Where'd you get this stuff?
I don't know.
Anyway, so she goes in there, and it's obvious it's not Grandma. Okay? What big eyes you have, what big teeth you have, etc. That whole long, drawn-out dialogue is to show that Little Red Riding Hood knows there's a problem here. But does Little Red Riding Hood put a little brain together and get out? No. So what happens? She gets eaten. And in the original, that's the end of the story. No more, bye-bye, oh God.
Wow.
Num, num, num. Now, the sanitized version has the woodman coming in, and he kills the wolf, cuts him open, and out come Little Red Riding Hood and Grandma. clutching her bottle of gin, whatever she was drinking when she was eaten up. I mean, you know, when you notice we're not told why she let the wolf in.
Why did she leave the...
I don't know.
Oh,
Probably she heard the rapping at the door and she thought someone was coming to help her. You know, lying on the couch in her dazed state. Anyway, what is with you and Grandma's drinking problem?
Boy, you are besmirching that whole family. Little Red Riding Hood, poor Grandma.
Grandma was a drunk, Little Red Riding Hood was stupid. And don't even tell me what the parents were like. I mean, they let the little girl go wandering off in the forest alone. Little Red Riding Hood was a latchkey kid.
That's true.
Yeah. You know, and this terrible, horrible story we clean up for our children. Anyway, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're having too much fun. No, seriously, I think that is part of it. The Krampus and all that is very important because it does give a moral center to the whole gift-giving idea. The children are not automatically good. They're not. Trust me, I remember being one, and I wasn't. No. But I knew the difference between right and wrong. What reinforced right and wrong with me were consequences for behavior. It's very important. The other thing is to why Krampus has come back to us. Partly it's our neo-pagan friends and Wiccans and so on trying to get to the less Christian aspects of the holiday. But that's not really it for most people. I think what it is that the Christmas culture we've developed has become so completely saccharine that it's sort of a way of cutting the sugar.
Ah.
You know, not so sweet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I can sit there and watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman and A Peanuts Christmas and all. I can do it with the best of them, and I love them. But, you know, especially because we've been doing this since before Halloween.
Right.
So I think that's part of it. Anyway, I'm happy to see Krampus. He's a little annoying, but, you know, who isn't?
What exactly is Krampus?
Krampus is this bear-like thing, this monster, that goes along with St. Nicholas in Europe and punishes the bad children.
Wow.
From just mauling them to eating them up.
Okay.
What if it was Krampus Little Red Riding Hood really encountered? She was sent out to grandmother's as a punishment.
Yeah, what if?
Yeah, and grandmother wasn't much good either. I mean, the whole thing, they all deserved what they got, including the wolf.
That's not very Christian.
So you're saying I should endorse a story of child neglect and endangerment?
No one is
and
beyond
rampant alcoholism.
No one is beyond redemption.
No, that's true. That's true. We should retell all the fairy tales this way. Goldilocks was another one who was obviously being allowed out without supervision.
Yeah.
And the little children of Lincoln was breaking into people's homes.
Yeah, I know.
Gosh, what are we doing to our children? This is terrible. All right, what else we got?